Good morning, everybody. It's MicheleMarieDalene, and of course, today it's actually in the United States officially is Yule today. Actually, remember when explaining that our ritual starts at 00:00 Universal Coordinated Time. That's the 7 o'clock last night. Was the start of Yule for me. Some of you probably wondered why we didn't actually start today, and the reason is because in the United States it's not 00:00 Universal Court time right now. It's actually currently about 4:46. Actually, it's more than that. It's like about 4:46 p.m. in the afternoon. So how are you doing? So I know we started a little early this morning. I mean, I'm still very tired from last night. Last night was a lot of energy, a lot of spiritual and physical energy went into the work last night, and I'm feeling it in my body right now. I'm just gonna get some sleep soon. Morning, Michelle. Hope you're looking forward to a blessed, safe, and holiday. Much love and much blessings. Thank you. Let's first of all let's get some of the average nitty gritty out of the way, if we may. First of all, today, government has gone for another extension, so today they can vote on the stimulus and the omnibus bill, which will probably be this cat just knocked off my windscreen and the other microphone. Here it is. You gotta stop knocking my stuff off my gear. Okay. So the omnibus bill today is got to be passed by the Senate. Then it's going to go to the House, goes through the Rules Committee. Then it has to be voted on. As proposed, there will be a $600 direct stimulus check, and the bill was about $2.2 trillion between the regular omnibus budget appropriations bill and the regular and the coronavirus stimulus bill. So it's going to be a beast. I don't know why the newscasters make it sound like it's such a great thing when you say it's going to be a beast. And the fact that this, just like Josh Hawley had said, is the problem is you guys are putting the stimulus for the people last. That should have been the first thing on your list. And then everybody else should have been, other programs should have been wrapped around that. So the stimulus would have been priority one for the people, instead of going through and getting all this money out for these special earmarks. And then all of a sudden now, the poor American people don't even get much. They're only going to get about $600 per adult and $600 for children under 18. It doesn't say, I don't know if they're even giving any money for adult dependents either. So it kind of sucks. Thank you very much, News. I do know the story of what happened with the second or the first interview, because you kind of hinted it in the second interview. You said it came out terrible. You wanted to redo it. Okay, that's what I thought too. But there was a few nuggets in there that I would have definitely at least made it private, and then just basically, kept the good nuggets, and then you could have mixed them together for compilation video. Some people actually, last night, there were a lot of people who thought it was going to be the normal dog and pony show, and it's not. I dedicate to what I do, which is to help the community as best I can. So it's just gonna, be kind of hard to explain that to some people, that I don't do this for shits and giggles. I'm dedicated to what I do. I believe in my message. I believe in who I am. And in fact, I truly am dedicated to my beliefs. So it's not just a game for me. Why do I have a wrench, but it doesn't show? Actually, you know what? That's going. I kept turning the wrench back on last night, and YouTube kept turning it off. And now I can't even set mods. What? I can't even turn on mod status. All right, YouTube, what are you up to? Why can't I give Rachel a wrench? Let me see. Who else can I give wrenches to? For some reason, Rachel, I just can't give you a wrench. Everybody else I can give wrenches to, Rachel, but I can't give you one for some reason. The only choices I have is pin message and report. For Rachel, I don't know what the story with that is. I don't even know if you're still I don't know how to tell YouTube otherwise. I'll have to go to your channel and make sure you're still edited in the mods, manually add you in later on. That is weird. Yeah, I don't get it either. Did you see the convocation yesterday? Yeah. Anyway, I did sleep with the ears on. Yeah, it's the second time I did that. These ears are so much better than the others in the sense that they're more comfortable and they work with my headphones, which is great. So I don't have to worry about getting earache from the headphones, pressing against like skull crushers. Even the skull crushers are compatible, which is nice. Yeah, I suspected something like that. That's certainly not something that was on my wish list. Trust me. YouTube is seriously is getting the equivalent of a digital hangover. I think it's been trying to cope. Yeah. So the point is YouTube is in the process of basically trying to reinvent itself again. It's going through the equivalent of a midlife crisis as far as content creation go, because sorry, dogs on skateboards don't necessarily watch YouTube anymore. You have to I don't know, you got a whole different genre of people coming on now, which is really kind of screwing up YouTube. I know a lot of people like the ears. Yeah, I do too. They're a little floopy. I guess you can tell I'm kind of tired, right? Damn. So we're already up to 14 this morning. Wow. All right, by the way, don't forget to put a like in the like chart. It really fucks up the YouTube algorithm when you do. It's like they may want to try to sweep this channel to the right, but when they see all those likes, and all of a sudden, like last night, I think they probably blew a few circuit breakers. 320 plus views last night. That's incredible. Yeah. It was nice to meet you in your stream last night. Thank you. When our timeline will be overloaded. Did you like? Did the lake jar so cool? So why don't we next quickly talk about another topic, which is AdSense. Only because the AdSense nonsense has got to be brought up sometime. Now, what AdSense is supposed to do is that you're supposed to get paid per click or pay for advertising revenue that is in your videos. The problem is that content creators have already found out the hard way that it's like making a deal with the devil. Because what happens is once you start accepting monetized ad, YouTube will pepper your ads everywhere in your videos. I mean, everywhere, live streams included. And all of a sudden, you're sitting there. You may want to have ads, but you might want to put them in specific places. When they're like, nope, can't tell you that's in the ad break. Poof, there we go. Throw them in there. You don't even have a choice. Every 8 minutes or something like that. Some channels get so many ads, it's ridiculous. And then we're talking about 8-10 minute video with like 5 ads in it. So I don't know if I'm going to take an AdSense. I definitely do want to get the community tab, though, because community tab will make things easier. Plus, we have mobile live streaming, which just means that I can go McDonald's, I can do a live stream. And I don't have to use something like StreamYards. I could just use a regular the YouTube app and make it simple for me because my eyesight. And if they do pass the $600 stimulus, I kept saying over and over again, I wanted to get a new bed, mattress, which I do. I know FC was going to buy for me, or no, Noir was going to buy for me. I haven't even got in contact with Noir yet to determine what he wants to spend or any of that. And I'm just looking to come in here. I hate ads, but at least you can skip them. Unless they're non-skippable ones, which YouTube seems to love putting in there. I got $50-something sitting in my AdSense account that I can't get at because of the reason of I'm not AdSense. So I can't get to my $57 that's sitting in my account, which still remains there even to this day, frozen. Not even interest bearing. It's kind of stupid. So, of course, I could do something similar that Noodles does. I could run legitimate adamants on my own, go ahead and get in contact with sponsors. And I did try to do that with Cumberland Farms, and they kind of were like, yeah, don't really want to have ads running on your channel with, the corporate office never got back to me. I should, maybe once they get big enough, maybe the corporate office might seriously look at me and go, yeah, okay. So last night we had a lot of people on the phone, and it was a major show, major production. It was on 4 networks at the same 5 networks actually. We had it on Discord, we had it on YouTube, we had it on Facebook, we had it on Twitch, we had it on DLive. And so we were streaming on all 4 networks at the same time. And Facebook said something about some kind of copyright content was in the video, which they said they had to block. And I appealed that decision, and I pointed out to them, I said, first of all, I didn't even use any copyrighted music. Second of all, I didn't use any copyrighted video footage. So where's the copyright infringement? I'm waiting for the answer from that company. I never heard of this company before, and see what they got to say. No problem. Doesn't DLive delete the stream after a few days? No, it does still delete the stream after a few days. Same thing with Twitch if you are not an affiliate. That's the reason why YouTube and Facebook are the 2 main ones. So if you get a chance, I mean, for the gaming channel, that kind of works out fine because World of Warcraft usually is not a major thing where you're going to keep your World of Warcraft streams alive, immortal for years. But it's not a good solution, but it's better than no solution. Michelle, you don't have to be able to get real sponsors or commercials. Yeah, I know that about her. I know that. I get it. But I would like to, if I was to go ahead and do that, make commercials for sponsorship ads. I would like to sponsor the real, services in my community, the ones that don't really get much appreciation. For example, like the local public library and the college library and the soup kitchen, even the Salvation Army, because these, especially the Salvation Army and the has been a major poster child for the 2020s with all the people that have been running into food lines to get food. The Salvation Army has been on the front lines. They're doling it out as best they can, and boy, they can use all the help they can get with donations right now. They're struggling. They're struggling. There's just need help. Yeah, thank you. Michelle said, that's awesome. Way to go. Message you when you get off here, Michelle, on my cell hangouts now. Using too much storage. My dog chewed open $250 of presents, and I got to figure something out. Yeah, dogs do that. Cats do it too, not as much. Or they'll rip into your presents and rip into your house. That's the life of a pet owner. Case of Rusty is he's digging his claws into my couch, which doesn't surprise me. He does get a sharpened. So he has a scratching rug, which is in the bedroom, which is an ugly brown tatty rug, which was specifically put there so the chair wouldn't dig into the floor. Lately, he's been scratching that, which is fine because I got it from the leftover tossed out from another apartment anyway. So my cat will actually just rip into it with his claws, sharpens him up. Because what it is, cats have claws that are kind of like those snap-offable razor blades. They actually have a sleeve that grows for claws. So as they break them off, there's a brand new claw underneath it. Kind of like a claw under a claw. That's interesting. Yeah, well, like I said, Rusty's hasn't gotten much Christmas presents. Neither did Fame, unfortunately. I didn't have the money to give him anything. Carrie got him a cat toy, which he still sits here. I don't think he really bats it around. Fame kind of did bat it around a little bit. It's still sitting with a Christmas tree. I mean, some people wonder would I would like to have another cat. The answer is yeah, sure, but I don't know how Rusty would react to another cat coming in here. I mean, he was so loyal to Fame because Fame was the original cat. He was the top cat. That when Fame took off, no one knew where he went. Even Rusty was worried for a while. So one of the things I really think we ought to remember is, as I understand it, YouTube right now has become a lifeline for so many people because of this lockdown COVID-19 bullshit. There's no doubt about it. If it wasn't for YouTube, I think a lot of us would have gone stir crazy. But at the same time, like last night's ritual was very, very real and very, very personal to me. And I, even then the phone calls were still coming in hot and furious. on my show was just waiting for YouTube captions to come through so I can hear what the callers actually said, some of them. F4T? What did it mean by that? No, my channel's run by me. It's just a small little channel. Oh, it's getting bigger. I know it's getting bigger. I know that. Yeah. Anyone who gets a test has a mental deficiency. Well, I don't know if I'd go that far. FC, I mean, people do want to know, just like if, you go get tested for STDs, right? Because your girlfriend wants to know if you're clean and you didn't have any risk of giving her syphilis. I mean, does that mean that you have a mental deficiency because you go get tested for syphilis? Or you get tested for gonorrhea? Or the claps? Or whatever? No, you want to make sure you're okay. In fact, the people were tested for syphilis back in the 1800s, like 1860s, we wouldn't have had so many people dying from syphilis, which was a big killer in Victorian England, believe it or not. The damage that syphilis did into the Victorian era was incredible. If the test was actually reliable, I would appreciate you. Agree with you, but the testing is for its very nature is extremely flawed. Yeah, I know there have been many false positives. I agree. This to taking of 2 or 3 tests. I'm still tired from last night. AIDS isn't the death sentence that used to be. No. Yeah. So it's hepatitis C. I have a friend that had hepatitis C. As far as I know, she's still with us. She moved from Willimantic to Torrington. She followed me. Her name is Janet. And she moved from Willimantic to Torrington. She was like right out of my boot heels. I'm like, what? She said, "Don't you remember me? Ray LaChabelle's ex-girlfriend?" Yeah, I remember you. That was a couple of years ago. I was like, "What are you doing in What are you doing in Torrington?" "Oh, I moved here." I don't know. Another one that moved here was Mike Avilas, and then I was like, that was I met him one time when I was walking down a couple of years ago from to the library, and he was there. He's like, "Hi, Michelle." I'm like, look, there's Mike Avilas. I went, "Oh, fuck." It seems like I dragged everybody from one town to another. Yeah, they were pretty bad. Good morning. What's up, chat? Easy E was one of the first people to heard of AIDS. Jasper's been around. I saw Jasper. I think I saw Jasper last night in the stream, or was it a noodle stream? I don't know. I've been. Like we said, we had 2 interviews in Noodle's channel last night. The powers that be decided that the first interview wasn't very complimentary and decided to erase the first interview. And then we did the second one, which was much more well run and much more polite, and it was nice. And I told Noodles nicely to keep the second one, and also if she could salvage the first one, because there are pieces in the first one you can use for a compilation later on, because there was just a lot of neat stuff that was said in the first one. I haven't been. It's been a busy weekend. A funeral, birthday, shopping, about everything. Really. We'll pass this weekend for you. I gotta admit, I still miss I still miss my Uncle Ernie. It's not Ernie, it's Ernie. It's an Arnold. And Anselmo. Those two, since I was born, had Christmas shindigs, and every year they were philanthropists. They were well-to-do philanthropists. And every year they would sponsor the family get-together. And the last one I went to was the last one he had before he kicked the bucket. We all knew it was coming to an end. So Christmas to me is important because my uncle made it so special that he would go out of his way to host all these events for the family. My uncle was the Rock of Gibraltar of the family. He was the one that would do the Thanksgivings sometimes. Not as much. Thanksgivings are kind of more of a personal thing, but the July 4th, he would do the July 4th celebrations, Christmas, and I kind of would like to carry on the family tradition. And one thing is, I don't have the kind of resources he had to do that. Airborne syphilis will become the new AIDS. Probably will. I'm going good way. I have been decorating my house. Okay. Is this? Things are. Rachel, my birthday is close to Christmas. Okay. Didn't like it when it was a kid. Never had a party on my actual birthday. No, it's kind of that we don't do phones in the morning show. Trust me, I'm still kind of waking up from last night. We do these phones at 7 at night. I don't celebrate Christmas. It's not a religious thing. Just a personal choice. Yeah. By the way, some people asked me on Needle's channel, I didn't really give a good, clear answer of what a blood elf is. So I wanted to talk about that real quick. And I'll talk about the lore. I want to talk about how I see it. The lore of the blood elves is as follows. Okay. The blood elves were part of the night elves originally. They were the highborn. They were part of the aristocracy of the night elves. But they got addicted to magic, which the night elves do not support the addiction to magic. Their queen, Ashara, started getting involved with demonology and working with demons and trapping demons to get power. And it was a really bad thing. So the Night Elves community decided that the Highborn had to go. So what they wanted to do originally was to execute them all, but there were so many members of the Highborn that they realized that executions would not have been feasible. Instead, they gave an edict basically banishing all of them from the high or from the night elf territories. The highborn, which are used to high society, basically found themselves now dealing with a hostile environment as they left the landmaster calendar to go to the Eastern Kingdoms. Struggled with monsters and creatures they never knew how to fight or anything. They finally established a base on the northern tip of the Eastern Kingdoms, and the original leader was Quethelas. Quethelas was found a way to reclaim the power by using the power of demonology originally. But that didn't work out too well because they also unfortunately made enemies with a lot of other people, including the local trolls, who didn't want them around. So they were always had to fight with these trolls. And the long story was that they were originally part of the Alliance, and the Alliance basically, Erithus basically stuck a finger up their ass and said, "Screw you. We're not helping you out. We're not going to help you against the undead." See, now you're starting to see how it kind of relate to me. Originally part of the highborn myself, in a sense. The basically banished, exiled from my own family, and then forced to go out in the wilderness, dealing with the hostels and dangers of the real world on my own. Continued to persevere and fight, to get ahead. Been betrayed many times, and yet, like the Blood Elves, still fighting, still breathing, still kicking. So, of course, they later changed their views from working with demons to working with the forces of the light. The actual technology name for these classes in the World of Warcraft is not going to help you here understand this, but they went from working with demons to working with the forces of the equivalent of angels and gods and goddesses, a positive influence. There's only a hundredth of the population of Blood Elves remaining in the game, and that have basically. The rest of the race was a genocide. I thought I would try to explain that to you. She's making all of this up, or is this a video game? This is a video game, World of Warcraft. Yeah. 13-year-old kid has a lot of those. Find who is okay. Just ask Flemmy about what. Michelle, we're seeing a lot more serious crimes committed by juveniles here in Nashville, Tennessee. They should be charged as adults and punished accordingly. Yeah. Only one child has been charged as an adult in Baltimore. I doubt his child will he shot 2 people. The other guy was shot in the stomach, but he's okay. They keep doing it because they know the system's on their side. Yeah, that's part of it. Also, the board, the whole society is basically falling apart. Yeah, it's depraved. It's coming apart, guys. I think COVID-19 has pushed a lot of people over the edge. How can juveniles get away with crime if there's adults around? Let's put it this way, that the juveniles are the ones that are roaming the streets like prowlers. They're the ones that are don't give a damn about masks or mandates. they're the ones that are preying on the infirm and the ill, and those who are following the rules during lockdown. They're a good portion of the ones that are supporting the defund the police movement through BLM and Antifa. Them and, of course, their older counterparts. And a lot of them come from broken homes that basically have no parental supervision. It's just sad, but it's true. In my neighborhood, juveniles don't get away with anything. VP here, many people were saying that poor children are the victims. Sometimes they prey on each other, unfortunately. Now, that's part of the whole problem. They're bottom feeders. That's what they are. They're bottom feeders. They'll kill each other. It's not hard to be successful if you're bottom feeder. You just wait for the juicy bits to come down from above you. That's all. So, I'm tired. I had a really major event last night, you know. So I think I'm gonna probably be going back to sleep after this for a few hours and rest up. That way, the stimulus bill, as I said, beginning is likely to be a done deal with about $600 payments, unless the House basically gives it a Bronx cheer and says no. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. You know, the thing is, this is the reason why we need to seriously we need to consider removing the rules about minors who commit severe crimes like that. They should have their names in the newspaper or whatever, the police plot or whatever, because they're the ones who committing major crime, capital murder one and all this. Come on. Why are we shielding them? They're not even innocent. Especially if they're found guilty, their names should be released to public. I'm up at 3 a.m. patrolling my neighborhoods on my bicycle, and I'm ready for anything. I'm exercising as well. And so if you can't do that in your neighborhood, that's your problem. You can send me a video, sure. You know how to send me a link. If it's a private one, just send it to me. Upload it to Google Drive and then send me a link to it and with shareable link, and then I can look at it later on. Well, I wanted to bed about 4 in the morning. Okay, I woke up at 9. That's 5 hours. And because I was reviewing all the videos that we did last night. And looking into the situation with the stimulus, because everybody keeps asking about the stimulus information. So, the only thing I can tell you is it's got to go to the House today to be voted on. I don't know if it's going to work or not. I mean, theoretically, it should, but a lot of Democrats don't think $600 is adequate. Even Josh Hawley, who's a Republican, said $600 is laughable. You can't shoot someone here unless they have inside the house or your family or life. There's nothing worth getting up at 3 a.m. for it. No, couldn't do it. Situation, nobody deserves to die that way. Well, I learned about myself is don't make trouble for people and just keep your nose clean, keep your eyes open, because there's always somebody out there who'll keep their nose dirty and their eyes shut. Those are the ones who go out there and go in a slasher spree. That's why you gotta have a sword, you gotta have a dagger, you gotta have a knife. That's your weapons of choice. Or you could have a nice big fat AR AK-47 if that's your tool of choice. But the idea is that defend yourself, not to make Swiss cheese out of the other guy. I have a permit. I don't see myself shooting someone for some cash. Still haven't released when he even got the gun to begin with. Probably won't. Probably not. Maybe it was a gun he 3D printed. You never know. Although I hear those guns suck, but 3D printing has made it possible to make almost anything you can imagine. Especially now they have something called metal 3D printing, which is kind of funny. Let's see how that works. I don't know about if you can't get up at 3 a.m., you don't have the discipline to stay. Well, 13, I was riding a skateboard. $13 old, I tried skateboarding. I didn't do too good with it. Pretty much over there now, heavily into the sciences and spirituality and music, the same things I do today. Oh yeah, meteorology was still a thing for me even at 13. Do. So rollerblades are rollerblades. They're supposed to be like the equivalent of ice skates with wheels on the bottom. Unfortunately, they're I don't know. They're kind of weird. I mean, ice skates, of course, get sharp blades in the bottom, but rollerblades, I don't even think you can stop except with the V stop and maybe the T stop. You can't even stop like on ice skates. You can't even dig because you don't have toe picks, so you can't like do the equipment to slam on the brakes. No pun intended. Whereas at least with roller skates, you can use your toe picks to grip into the ice. Well, either way, I'm glad you guys liked the ritual last night. I was just doing what I felt had to be done to straighten out the problems with the world. My dad was 15 when I was born. I went to the army, okay. The ears are attached by body compatible adhesive. Yes, this is the glue. It's called Prozate. It's FDA approved for prosthetics. So this is the stuff. It's really strong. You can take them off relatively easily, but it's getting them on the first time is a nightmare because like it kept getting glue all over my fingers and my hair because I need an elastic to pull my hair back. So the whole idea of ritual isn't this. Oh, sorry. The whole idea of the ritual isn't so much to sacrifice anybody, but rather to put an end to all the 2020 baloney that has happened. You know, because I get so fed up with it. About all the stuff about, you know, the bullshit 2020. Yeah. Well, I'm certainly not a virgin, no. I'm 52. I'm gonna be 53 in February because I'm an Aquarius. February 13th, 1968 was when I was born. I'm gonna be 53. Who would have thought I'd live to be this long, this old? This is the longest I've ever lived. Usually I'm dead by 35. So seems like I never get enough sleep. When you start seeing those really dark circles in the eyes, and you know I didn't get enough sleep, they're not that dark yet. So I got something out of the deal. What was that about? Okay. So, anyway, make a long story short, is yes, I am still a little bit tired from last night. I'm just coming down from the adrenaline rush, and now my body feels like it's gonna go into a crash. I can feel it. I didn't even want to get up at 8:30 in the morning. I went, do I really have to get up? One guy goes, blah, 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 blah. Shut up. Then again, I always said I was going to be up at 10 in the morning, so I said, fine, I'm up. All right. Got cleaned up, got ready, had breakfast, then I came out here, and here I am. I'm going out to... So tonight we'll be having the phone calls at 7. I don't know if we're going to stream it at all those channels like we did last night. That was a little bit much. Right now it's still set up to do it. And so, yeah, I guess I could stream the game tonight. And I was so tired last night. I couldn't really do much in World of Warcraft. I was just like, ugh. I was getting creamed by the enemy. I was being creamed by Charlie, like 7 ways to Sunday. And of course, the quest givers were giving quests, and I'm like, sending me all over Draenor, and I'm like, oh Lord. And my body was saying is, we need to sleep. Like, fine, I didn't want to sleep on the hard floor of my garrison. I just said, screw this. I'm going back to the inn with Jovia and spend the night with her. So I went back to the inn. And so when I get on the game today, I got to go back to Draenor again to finish the missions. Or at least try to anyway. Last night, trying to find the innkeeper's wife. In an inn filled with zombies and the weird spiritual music, sound effects. It was setting my teeth on edge. I was like, oh God. I'm supposed to convince one person of the reality that she's dead, and I can't even find her name anywhere. I see all these dead alcoholics and dead tavern dwellers, and I was like, oh man. Thing is that she apparently was probably buried somewhere in the inn, and I couldn't find her. So I had no choice but to abandon that mission. I was like, I'm sorry, but the sound effects in the game was getting on my nerves, and I was like, I'm out of here. That's what I felt like. Whereas homeless Mike, he's not here right now. He's probably with his friends other places. He does kind of hop around and sleep different places. I don't know where he goes. I just know he comes by here occasionally. And right now, it looks like Christmas is going to be, for us, it's going to be a wet, soggy one. But it's going to be a warm one. It's going to be a high of 12 degrees Celsius on Christmas Day. Which isn't going to be bad. By that time, most of the snow will be gone, and then I'll be able to get things done for Christmas Day. Like, go across the street, Cumberland Farms, and get hot cocoa and stuff like that, which I kind of want, I gotta run. All right. Anyway, guys, why don't we all run because I want to get some sleep again. But thank you for coming to the morning show. I'll see you at 7 o'clock tonight Eastern time, and that's what we'll do, the phone calls. But for now, you have a nice day, and I'll see you later, okay? Bye-bye. Bye, everybody.